Hello, my name is Brianna Martin, and this is the course that I chose to do for our observation and rubric. The title of the course is HTML5 and CSS Fundamentals. I chose this course because I believe HTML is important for my current job. We are looking for a web technologies person, and while they're out, we're all trying to come together to really understand how our library web page works, and so I believe knowing HTML would help with that. I also believe that this knowledge is going to be increasingly important for anyone who's doing online work, especially for instructional design or for any course development. So I wanted to get a more basic understanding of web design and style. And that's what this course sought to do, was to give the basic building blocks to web design and style, though that foundational knowledge of HTML and CSS. Now, I am a complete novice, but this course did require a small amount of background knowledge on coding language and maybe just how to develop HTML. I definitely had to reread some areas. I would say the audience is for beginners. I wasn't completely lost the whole time, and I definitely can work through it as a new person. So it could be for beginners, but not so beginning that every word is foreign or that you can't keep up. Definitely not for, I would say, the average high schooler or even maybe the average undergraduate student, unless they were seeking to do computer science or data analysis. Some of the highlights I found for this course was that it provided a complete course outline at the beginning. So underneath that course information, they had this complete course outline, grading and due dates, and you can even bookmark that course outline. So as you're working through it, you can go back to see where you're at and see that progression with that. I also liked how it described all the required course tools at the beginning. This was a very much obviously dealing with HTML and CSS. There was a lot of tools. You can see up top here some of the ones that are required for you to sort of understand, and not understand, that it was going to teach you how to use when it comes to understanding CSS and HTML. So I really much like that they gave that to you at the beginnings, all the links. And then every time you had a link, it opened as an external open or new page, which I think sometimes we forget when developing things, that to make sure it opens in a new web page so that people don't have to go back and then they lose the website, or they have to copy the URL, and then it just makes it so much easier when it opens in a new page. A small detail, but I very much enjoy it for how many different external links there were. It was a reading heavy, a lot at the beginning of the modules. And so you would have a lot of it was really course heavy when you would open up one of these. However, they did provide step-by-step videos. So when you were going to lose CodePen, they taught you what it was, how to use it. And then when it came to the project, they showed you a step-by-step video, a screencasting. So that was really helpful to have. So those are all some really great highlights. As I said, this course does have some rigor to it. For being a foundational course, it holds a lot of information. It is a 6-week and 6-module course. However, each module holds a lot of lessons. So if you'll notice here, each one of these, it's not just one lesson, there's major points to each one of them. And so it is a pretty intensive course. It is part of a certification program, so there is a college level rigor to it. This is just the first of many courses you would take to get a certification in web development. So you can see over here, it costs money, so it is something to add to a resume to really get a college level understanding of HTML and CSS and web design. So they have to make it pretty rigorous if it's going to have that connection to it. Overall, I think the quality of this course was very well done. I enjoyed the course and the lessons that I walked through. Obviously, I didn't walk through all the modules since it's a 6-week one, but the module one that I walked through, I very much did enjoy. That there was a variety in reading, videos, and projects. The presentation of information, the order or sequence was well put together. Each lesson built upon the previous module's lessons, and the exercises gave hand-on experience with HTML and CSS and the course tools. They didn't just say, here's a tool, but they actually showed you how to use it, and a variety. So I chose CodePen, but there was another one that's similar. So they didn't just teach you one, but they actually gave you different options on tools, which I thought was great because there's so many different tools out there. So one company might use one versus another company uses another. So I thought it was great they both multiple options. There are 3 elements that I would borrow from this course. The first was the knowledge checkpoints. They did not count towards the grade, but they gave me as the student awareness of my progression before I actually hit one of those quizzes. If you're using this for the core or the certification, it is a pass fail and you have to get 70% or more. So having those checkpoints makes them see, oh, do I need to go back before I actually hit that graded quiz that's going to count? So I thought that was a great thing to have. Second, they didn't force video or alternative methods. I feel like sometimes online courses can try to be too much. And this one, when the best option was reading, they gave the best option as reading, because that information really does do best as reading. So I enjoyed that I felt like they used videos appropriately when needed and not over tried to use technology. And thirdly, I really enjoyed the hands-on activities that they had, so I thought that'd be a great thing to borrow. It wasn't just one major end project, but actually in each module, you're building upon a project, so each module has that hands-on activity to really understand everything you're learning and using the content and everything that you're experiencing. So I thought that was great that they had a lot of hands-on activities for you to actually build your own web stuff and actually try creating HTML and use CSS and all that kind of stuff. So overall, I believe it was a really good course. I'm actually interested in maybe looking at the certification and going through the whole process when I have the time. But overall, I think it was very well done. Lots of information, but great information. And I very much enjoyed it.